everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite games of all time. Before I get into this video, you will notice all the boxes in the back. I'm moving, so that's that. So hopefully I will be able to do videos in the new house soon. I'm really excited to do that and have a games room and all that stuff. But for now, we're slowly packing because this month is very busy, and that's just going to be in the background. Coming in at number 10 is a newish game, but new for me. I literally just finished it about a month ago, and that is Gravity Rush. This game was really, really cool. Amazing soundtrack. I love the characters. I loved the aesthetics, the way it looked. It was very cool, cel-shaded and all that stuff. The gameplay, really different with the gravity shifting and her flying everywhere. It was just a really cool game, but it also had a really creepy, strange kind of vibe going on, and that's like my favorite thing. So highly, highly recommend Gravity Rush. It was really cool, and I know you can get it on PS4 now, so not really any excuses if you don't have a Vita, but I really do recommend it on the Vita. It was really fun to play on the go. Overall, amazing. Number 9 is Mario Kart 8, and I didn't think this would make the list until I really started thinking about it, and I thought, this is an amazing game. I play this all the time. I never want to stop playing it. It's not dated. It's really great, and the soundtrack is amazing. I really love what they've done with Super Mario these days in terms of the jazz kind of thing. It's really fun. We're going to see that in Super Mario Odyssey. This is amazing. This is just a great, great, fun, silly racing game. It's the best Mario Kart there is, in my opinion. The DLC that came out was also amazing, and I don't normally like DLC at all. It bothers me. It's annoying. But when they announced they're bringing out more tracks, I thought, oh my god, we bought it instantly, and it is not disappointed. This game is still really fun. It doesn't get old. I'm not like, I've played this track a million times. I continuously want to play it. I want to play the same thing over and over again. The replayability is amazing. This is so worth it. I know everybody's bought it and everyone has it, and now it's out for the Switch. But it's truly an amazing game, so it had to go on the list because of how much I want to play it all the time. Number 8 is Mother 3, which has never been released here, which is a huge shame. I have a reproduction cart, and it worked, and it was great, so I highly recommend it. But it's the only way to play it, I guess, and it was really great. Overall, it's a better story than Mother 2. I will say that as a huge Mother 2 fan. It's just great. Very dark and twisted, and gets really, it gets really heavy, and it's a really cool game. So, overall, it's a very, very great JRPG. Not as good as Mother 2, spoiler, but it is just story-wise so incredible. I didn't want to put it down. It was just a really, really neat game and had some interesting topics and really not controversial. I guess a little controversial. There's some dark stuff in here, and you would never guess that from looking at the gameplay. You would never think it was so dark, but it actually is. And I definitely recommend this. Definitely find a way to play it, because Nintendo, for some reason, does not want to release it in the West. I don't know why, but maybe they will. Maybe they will. Number 7 is a fan favorite of everybody, and that's Chrono Trigger. Really cool game. Time travel aspect, so cool. I remember playing this and thinking, I wish this became a movie. I would love to just watch it. All the characters from different time periods throughout history coming together to save the world. It was so cool. It was not it was not typical. It was not sort of the normal JRPG. It was just very different. I mean, it has a lot of cliches in it, but it was really cool to travel through time and get somebody else to join your party that was from like 800 years ago or 1,000 years in the future or whatever. It was just really, really neat. Very cool concept. Never got boring. And playing it on the DS is the way to go. So I recommend, if you haven't played it, play it portable. It's just the best version. I don't have it on Super Nintendo. One day I would like to probably own it on Super Nintendo just because, but Chrono Trigger is very, very cool. It's just such a unique concept, so I love it. I loved playing it. I think I actually cried at the end, so that has to count for something. Number 6 is Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. So good. I love this series. I think it's fantastic. It's sadistic and creepy and very Japanese, and the music, the score in these games the scores are just so good. It's just They're very different, and it has that creepy vibe, and I love anything creepy and a little sadistic, which is why I liked 999. This has the same aspect of that, but it's not puzzly. I don't like puzzly games at all, so this kind of mixes a Phoenix Wright aspect in it with kids in high school constantly getting killed, and it is really sadistic, so it kind of sounds awful at first, but really interesting. And Monokuma is one of the best villains ever. It's so eerie and upsetting, I guess, and I don't know, I really like these games. Number 3 comes out in September, and I've been waiting so long. I cannot wait, because they are just so fun to see exactly what happens to all the characters, and you know, to solve all the mysteries involved with whenever a kid dies, and it's really interesting, and it sounds horrible. I know if you play this series, you understand, but it is very different. Japan seems to have a weird fascination with not necessarily teens, but people getting trapped and having to escape, and characters slowly dying off. It's very different, kind of like Battle Royale meets Phoenix Wright, I guess, and really cool. Now we get to my top 5, which I will just mention right now that it's really hard to figure out a top 5 because they're all so great. So we'll just go into it. Number 5 is Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. This is one of the first JRPGs I ever played and made me love JRPGs the way I do now, and it is so good. It still holds up. I actually beat it for the first time not that long ago because I'd always sort of played it as a kid and then never finished it. It's really great. So different because Squaresoft came together with you know, Nintendo to take Nintendo characters and put them in a JRPG. Never had you seen like Mario and Princess Peach in a JRPG before. Really, really different. And now Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series have become pretty popular. But I would like to see a true sequel to this because it's so good and it still holds up. I love the visuals too. They have that clay, Play-Doh looking look, and it's really neat. This is overall just great. And the soundtrack, I will mention again, is so good. It holds up. I still listen to it now, and it's just super great. This is an amazing JRPG. Number 4 on my list is kind of weird because it's a Donkey Kong game that's not Donkey Kong 1 or 2. It's Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, and I will say it's my favorite probably because it's the one I played the most, but I will say that Donkey Kong Country is amazing, changed the whole platformer game, and Donkey Kong Country 2 is also, like, amazing. They're both great games, but I think I played this one more, so I just have more of a love for it, I guess, and Donkey Kong Country is a series, I won't just favorite this one for a sec, is phenomenal. I've always kind of liked it more than Super Mario because it was just a little bit different. The visuals were a little bit different. Everything about it was a bit different, and Mario was very straight to me, and Donkey Kong was just a little off-center, and I really like that about it. But this game, something about it, I just really, really like it, and one of the games I played a lot as a kid. Number 3 on my list is Pokemon Red and Blue. Blue is the one I played as a kid. I no longer have it, so I have a cartridge of Red now. And the Pokemon series, I know this sounds so cheesy, but I'm just going to say it kind of like changed my life. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I love Pokemon still to this day. There's something about it. If I could go into any video game world, I would probably choose the Pokemon world, go into the Kanto region, become a Pokemon trainer. There is something about this because I think it defined my childhood. When I think of my childhood, it's Pokemon. So that has to count for something. I will say, though, that despite this being number 3 on my list, I don't think this holds up as a game on the Game Boy. As a game, it holds up, but this version does not. So if they made this, you know, updated with different graphics and made the gameplay aspects a little bit more up to date, it would still hold up. But damn, playing it on the Game Boy, is really hard. It's really hard. Even I've tried playing Pokemon Yellow last year on my 3DS. I had to stop because I was like, I can't. It takes so long to get anywhere in this game because you don't have EXP share, and it is a little dated. But other than that, it really solidified my love for JRPGs. Earthbound, Super Mario RPG, they got me hooked on RPGs, but this was like the defining, like, yes, I like JRPGs. I love this. I finished it to the end as a kid. I fully could understand what was going on, and I don't know, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved exploring all the towns. It was just, that was the JRPG defining game probably for me. Number 2 is a classic, and it's Super Mario World. Pretty obvious choice. A lot of people would say this is one of their top 10 games as well. I think it's great. The music, the amazing gameplay, it is not dated in the slightest. It is so, so good. I think it's the best Super Mario game of all time. A lot of people would say it's Super Mario Bros. 3. I think it is Super Mario World. It's just overall, it's so much nostalgia involved with Super Mario World. So much nostalgia involved with all these games. I guess not Gravity Rush, but because I just finished that last month. But Super Mario World is just a phenomenal game overall. When I think about the music, I think about all the fun times I've had with this game. I think about being a kid, and I just really, really, really like this game. It is top notch. One of the best games of all time. My number 1 is really obvious, and because of that, I'm not going to talk about it very long. There's too much to say. I'm done. It's Earthbound. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows my favorite game is Earthbound. A 10-second synopsis. It's a great game. I love it. It makes me think of childhood. I love everything about it. The soundtrack is probably one of my most favorite things about it. I listen to it weekly. I really like this game. So I'm so happy that I own it. It is one of the best things I own. I have it on display at home, like literally. So I just love Earthbound so much. It's one of the soundtrack alone, it transports me back to 95, 96, when I was playing it, and that means a lot to me. Everything about it, I just really, really like it. It made me love JRPGs the way I do now. Pokemon Red obviously did, and Super Mario RPG, but Earthbound, very cool game. Just really unique, and so different back then for the other JRPGs that were out at the time. I mean, think about it. Final Fantasy VI, very cliche style JRPG. Earthbound, little kids going around the modern day, like United States, really different, very different, using pots and pans as weapons. Like, it was just a very strange game, and a taxi could, like a cab could attack you as an enemy. Like, it's just a very strange game, and that's why I like it, because it's so weird and just very different, and the huge box probably attracted me to rent it as a kid, and that's why I love it so much. So those are my top 10 games of all time. Very hard choosing this list, to be honest, and who knows if it's off or not, whatever. Earthbound is 100% my number 1. That will never change. It will always be my favorite game of all time. I just love it way too much. I'm obsessed with Earthbound. But yeah, I'm curious what your favorite games are of all time. If you agree with my list, if you disagree with my list, have you played all those games, blah, blah, blah. Leave a comment, and please click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.